Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, October 18, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. You want to make sure you're in a comfortable position with no outside distractions. Relaxed into your body, still as a statue, and focused on your breath rising and falling. The biggest, I would say, weapon that the lower frequencies of this planet have is you. Now, we don't connect with that because we're so distracted and we're so submerged in the material physical world. And whatever any of us accept as the truth becomes what we actually manifest physically into our life. Okay? This is where we have to be very careful, because you can see the disarray on the planet in so many different directions, and that's why. Now, this very may well be one of the most awesome mysteries that the civilization has to explore. Our foundational belief structure is so powerful, pervasive, and penetrating that it always manifests itself in every single possible outcome and experience we have. So you picture this. So one might say, well, how does that happen? How can that be? It's because this universe always supports whatever you believe. If deep down you believe you are not a lovable person, this universe will constantly manifest for you the most challenging people, negative situations, and experiences that support this belief inside. If you truly believe you are devoted to caring about you, honoring you, and caring for your needs in the most intimate, vulnerable ways, this intelligent universal energy simply follows thought. Whatever you believe about you is where the energy flows and manifests into the entire show all around you. So you could picture, you begin to, let's say, connect or snap the puzzle pieces in place, and you start to see the picture, the whole picture. Then you can realize is that when you can convince many of the civilization of what you are conveying, it's going to be manifested. Okay? It's going to be manifested. Whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. And since we are so distracted in the material physical world, we don't know that. We don't know. See, we don't know that we're super powerful, that we are supreme, omnipotently powerful supreme beings that never die. Omnipotently powerful, supreme manifesting abundant beings that never die while we're in these bodies. So the universe follows thought. Your thoughts, okay? Wherever your attention is, deep down inside, whatever you're focused on. And we're moving more and more into we thought we were in a highly technological age. We haven't seen anything yet. We're moving into an accelerated path way beyond anything that we have come across technologically in real time in this planet and our lives. And so people these days tend to believe science easier than spirituality or forms of religion. And this is why you see things that'll pop up. Right? Well, we've discovered God in a lab. So if we've discovered God in a lab, it must be true, right? What's fascinating about this current time frame that we are all in our lives is that the quantum physicists of this world have ventured so deep into particles that they've had to merge at least what they've been taught, understanding, with a spiritual context, because they don't have any answers. Okay? They've gone beyond the conventional, how they've been taught on this planet, science. Gone beyond it. They don't have any answers. It's like a void. So what are they going to do? Well, they start embracing spiritual context of things. And their so-called practical Newtonian vocabulary doesn't have the words to explain the outrageous results they're finding. This is why you're seeing this. You'll see more of it. Is that they have to use more spiritual words and concepts to bridge the comprehension of these hard-coded scientific results. And we discover that everything has a conscience. We only thought we did. Pretty arrogant, but humanity thought that we're the only ones with, intelligent consciousness. Nothing's advanced as we are. If you take two quantum particles that were spinning around each other, and you found a way to separate them by a few kilometers in distance later, they spun one of the particles counterclockwise. And notice that instantly the other particle that was kilometers away would also change spinning in this new direction. And it really does. This isn't that complicated as much as they make it. So this study has been done many times in the same results. So of course, like any of us would do, they've concluded there exists some form of spiritual intelligence that is communicating between all quantum particles in this universe, no matter what physical distance is between them. Okay? What does that show us? That we're all one. It's proven fact. It gets to the point where your ego mind wants to deny it. The mind's too small of a container anyway to even comprehend it. So it just kind of poo-poos it, just kind of shoves it off. It's absolutely irrefutable evidence that we're all one. We're all connected. Everything. All life. All that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. You're not separate. You never were. You never will be. You're not separate from anything. You're part of everything, and everything's part of you. That structure is the truthful structure. You can't have beings that are unified deeply and know it and are knowledgeable about it. You can't have that, say. Because if you do have that, the lower dark matter frequencies don't have control. They'll never have control. But if you can somehow stealthily sneak in, change everything, and create the illusion of separation amongst everything, then you've got them. Then you can do whatever you want over them. This is what's happened to this planet. And by me just sharing that opens it up. And you can feel it within your heart-mind. That's fact. Unprecedented evidence that this is what has occurred amongst us on this planet. It's occurred with all life. You look at an animal, right? Look at a wolf or a bear or something. You go, well, there's no way I'm part of that. But you are. You definitely are. And so what do? We fear things we don't comprehend. We fear them. Right? When you come across animals, you say to yourself, "What? That could harm me. It could harm me." Your fear comes out. Why do you think animals have such high senses? The reason they have high senses is because they can smell your fear. They can smell it. They sense it. So that makes you, to them, at least your physical, body, vulnerable for damage. It's the same across the board with everything. How would you be if you knew without a shadow of a doubt that you were part of everything? Deep down inside, you knew you were a part of everything. You also knew that this universe is always there for you, always protecting you, always helping you, always guiding you, always, never letting you down. Ever. Never making mistakes. And you knew that whenever you desired something or wanted something in your life, it wasn't even, there was nothing there that would question it. It was just ease and fluidity, grace, benevolence, and tranquility, and peace, and bliss, and love, and joy. And you just extend it out, and then there it is. You can really see, as a watcher or observer of this planet and the civilization, how much confusion and unknowing exists. You can see that frequency and energy. That's why we will feel, if something happens on the planet, say halfway across the planet, we have no clue that it's happened, but we feel something, right? We can feel it. If a lot of us are removed from our bodies, all of us feel it. The ones that aren't removed from the bodies feel the ones that are removed from the bodies. There's always that connection. Always. It's like these prefabricated conflicts, they call them wars, that we've experienced as a species for thousands of years. We feel that disruption. We feel it. We feel the chaos. We feel the pain, the sorrow, the anguish, the destruction, and the wave effect that covers the planet with such unnatural conflicts, because it isn't our natural state of being. Do we know what our natural state of being is? Do we really know? If we really knew, wouldn't we be there? All this other stuff is meaningless. Focusing on things that can be taken away is futile. Absolutely futile. Focusing on things that cannot be taken away is our natural state of being. What is that? the God within us. That is the only thing that's real, as you've heard me say repeatedly. That can't be taken away, no matter what. Oh, what about an energy pulse beam or this or that could just fry the soul and the spirit? No, see, that perspective, of course, is embedded on this planet, point of view. But energy cannot be destroyed. It just moves into different forms. Isn't that ironic? So if you have starships that have electronic weapons and are firing at each other, right? Well, they're all made of energy. They're all made of frequency. Excuse me, which is housed in different forms. You know, the rare earth metal coltan, which is used for the superstructure of the ship's hulls, is a form of energy. The energy is housed within the so-called containment of the material. So what if you just blow it to smithereens and you destroy the energy? You can't. It just is. It disperses into the atmosphere or into the space, and it absorbs into other things or just lays there. That's why I constantly remind people that 1 cubic centimeter of space has enough power, energy, frequency to boil all the oceans on this planet. Okay? And when you can comprehend that, it starts to, the pieces start to come together. Really, they really do. They start to come together. You start figuring it out. You don't really do it through your ego mind. The ego mind kind of takes a back seat. You're in it into your heart mind, and you're also connected with your God, the God that you are. See, you move beyond the mind. You move beyond the mind. You don't count on the mind. Okay? Only if you're directing it is when you count on it. Only when you use it as a vehicle or a tool and it becomes your servant. But to rely on the mind to comprehend what I'm sharing, it can't. It's just too small of a container. It's not able to comprehend any of that. So, see, we will learn to move beyond. We'll move into consciousness, pure consciousness, which is the God. We name it different things, okay? But God, pure consciousness, higher self, the spirit, the soul, whatever, however you depict it, it is pure consciousness. And it is benevolent pure consciousness. And some would think that that's like an AI. No, this is organic. This is a pure consciousness that's organic. It's the God, right? And we are the God. And collectively, we are the God. That's why I use the analogy of a drop of water from the ocean is the ocean, because that drop of water contains the essence of that ocean. That's just like us. We are the God because we contain the essence of the God. All of us do. And it's just like life is God, the highest supreme value in the universe is. All of it. And when we move, because we will move beyond the mind, that's when we have mastered the mind and the mind disappears. Then we're fully immersed in consciousness, pure consciousness, the gods that we are within these bodies. Then we know that we can move any forms of energy into manifestation and then manifest anything we choose. But in between, there's all of this baggage, clutter, that steers us away from that, because you must be deep within, with no doubt, total faith and confidence and trust in yourself and this universe. Or it doesn't work. And when it does, it doesn't work well. It's proven that we are so powerful that we can literally make particles appear in the middle of nowhere by focusing on that area. You don't have, it's like people think, wow, you got to be clairvoyant. Oh, you got to be a psychic. Or, oh, you got to be this. No, you don't, because you're already all those things. But see, you doubt it. You might say to yourself, how did I know that? To yourself. You might have said something, and there it is. And you say to yourself, how did I know that? Because it's your natural state of being. Everything that you have been taught to believe is an untruth. It's the opposite of truth. And that's what guides you through this life. It's what you've been taught. And it becomes deeply embedded within you. So this is what you use as guidance and direction. It's the information that you've accumulated in this life to this point. And we continue to accumulate information. And it's when we choose what to believe and what not to believe. Whatever you believe manifests into your life. And whatever you don't believe doesn't. Some people, it's proven fact, some people, they focus on their life being miserable, right? They aren't doing it on purpose. And their life remains miserable. Years and years and years. And all along, they aren't even, not even an inclining of being aware that they created that life. It's everything. People, it's like years ago, many moons ago, quantum physicists also proved in their labs that thoughts are actual physical, measurable things. When the mind cultivates the ability to direct thought in one specific direction for an extended period of time, the being can physically attract, magnetize, and soon manifest an actual physical thing into their field of existence. Proven. Over and over again. Now, is that just, selected people? No. It's every one of us. Now, we've been in the 21st century for a while. And the comprehension that we are the manifesting magicians of the quantum soup of highly intelligent energy all around us has become an actual science in quantum physics. And the spiritually enlightened communities. The relationship between the mystic and the scientist. A lot of people don't know this. It's the same with astrology and astronomy. Several hundred years ago, they were all separated. Right? Change, again, to keep us off the scent. So the relationship between the mystic and the scientist were separated several hundred years ago. And now, the pendulum, so to speak, is swinging back towards their reunification again. See the redundancy there? It's already happened before, and then we'll forget. It is while we're in these bodies, it is our inherent curious nature to want to put labels on things, people, ourselves, and create a universal law of attraction that will solve this great manifesting mystery of life. We think that if we have a more concrete global understanding of life, then we can relax and rest even deeper into our spiritual nature. Perhaps only a fool would believe that we need something external to let go and relax internally. A lot of us believe that. Why would we need to feel inferior to being one with Mother Nature, just so as to push away our insecurity and strive towards a need to feel superior? The human psyche, as I've mentioned many times, is the greatest mystery of them all, which is society. All that we have to do is to give up identifying with the body, with forms and limits, and then we shall know ourselves as the infinite self that we always are, Ramana Maharishi. Now, maybe when science creates a machine to find the source of consciousness, then mankind will feel like a god. Yet, why take the long road? Why not just look inside your source of consciousness itself and discover real evidence of where consciousness comes from? Realize what consciousness is made of, why it exists. Relax into the greatest innermost mystery of them all. In order for our world to solve these deep, outrageous questions in the future, quantum physicists must merge completely with the metaphysical mindset. If modern science is to make any real progress, I'm guessing by now you're more interested in how your life can personally benefit from applying these enlightening path, this enlightening path of comprehension, the great mystery. You want to know how the metaphysical manifestation or manifesting mystery can make your life easier, more abundant, healthy, loving, happy, and financially free. And in order for you to have access to manifesting anything and everything you desire in your life, you must choose to first start with believing in one basic foundational comprehension. Whatever we continuously focus our attention on grows, multiplies, and manifests automatically in our lives with the help of this natural, powerful, magnetic, manifesting intelligence that's inside everything. And with all this amazing manifesting power already inside us, it's quite ironic that more people are not accessing it, isn't it? Isn't it strange? Many of us are stuck in jobs we don't like. See, this is the distraction of material physical world. Relationships that we lose energy battling with every day. And we are either having some sort of food, drug, alcohol, or sex addiction that is taking priority over any real deep spiritual devotion and exploration. Isn't it? And the basic reason for all human suffering here is simple. The mind keeps focusing on what we don't want, and thus keeps manifesting more of the same. This is why we see so much redundancy in the existence of mankind, of humanity, throughout the ages. Because the basic reason for all human suffering The mind keeps focusing on what we don't want, thus keeps manifesting more of the same. New thoughts rarely have space to form. And after 70, 80 years, the human being has wasted all its precious energy on magnetizing on what it doesn't want and doesn't have. And the question rises, right, from many, well then why? How come we don't manifest everything that we want? That we're not always manifesting everything that we want. It's because we cannot keep our mind focused long enough on feeling that we are receiving that one thing that we truly desire to have. Deeply and resolutely focused, we will become the manifesting masters of our world. When we practice meditation, we will one day attain mastery over our mind and actually reach a state of physical mastery over our physical world. That's when we'll be totally free, truly so. Right now, the master is fast asleep on this planet. And the mind, the servant, is playing the role of master. And the servant is created by the outside world. It follows the outside world and its laws. Once your awareness becomes a flame, it burns up the whole slavery that the mind has created. There is no blissfulness more precious than freedom, than being a master of your own destiny. Osho. Very well put. When it comes down to life-mind mastery within the great mystery, it is all about discovering the source of pure awareness inside. This is that simple, obvious awareness that is always watching, listening, and experiencing everything in your life all the time. It is the light behind the movie screen of your mind, responsible for projecting the entire picture onto everything that you feel, sense, and see. It is responsible for shining the light on every single thought and feeling that you have about anything. It's always the source of what your experience is in every moment of your existence. We do not give awareness enough credit. We rarely recognize that it's there and hardly ever take the time to sit down with it and relax into the source of it. The reason we take awareness for granted is because it is ever present, always here now, just like the air you're breathing. Yet think about it. What if awareness wasn't present anymore? What would happen to your life? Who would you be without awareness? Who would exist if there were nobody to be aware of your existence anymore? These are some deep thoughts to contemplate. Yet when we do take the time to explore them, something magical happens. We start becoming more in touch with this divine state of awareness. Whatever we focus on is what we experience more of, and eventually manifest into physical action and form. Whatever we meditate on results in who we are going to become tonight and tomorrow morning. And as we become more aware of the infinite spiritual source of awareness inside, we become more connected with what's totally in charge of what we're magnetizing. We can see each thought fly by and see exactly how each one is attracting, creating, and designing how our entire lives unfold and manifest. It is only when we become conscious of this perfect divine play manifesting inside us and all around us that we stop fighting ourselves, each other, beating our heads against our inner emotional prison walls. And when we stop pushing up against life and start appreciating that everything is an aspect of the great sacred mystery, we start resonating at a higher level of consciousness. We begin feeling more expansive when we wake up in the morning and greet the day with a childlike curiosity, creativity, and wonder. We do this because at the source of pure awareness, it's easy to realize there truly are no actual prisons in this infinite quantum field of intelligent energy. Prisons are only limiting aspects of our highly creative imaginations. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body, focused on your breath rising and falling. The inner path of healing you is the only way to discover total freedom. Explore what it's like to choose to heal yourself everywhere you go and whomever you are with. Make the commitment to be with you today and find inner peace with what you cannot. This is your special sacred healing day. Wherever you go today, pretend that you are continuously merging with this loving energy and healing experience. Stay connected throughout the day by saying, I am whole, healed, and complete. Focus on receiving the most nourishing, peaceful, and healing energy you can fathom. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and following morning. We'll return here Sunday, October 19, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on within you, nor outside of you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.